Hello, Stampers, Deb Valder here. I am here to bring you in my 2018 Christmas series, one of my cards that is called a Slider Peekaboo card. Isn't that adorable? Slider Peekaboo card. So cute. And it's very, very easy. We did this in our club and we just had a blast doing it. We're going to do it with our Gnome for the Holidays set. And remember, this is a bundle, so it does have the dies to go along with it. Yes, I always do a bunch of them when I'm doing them so that I have them ready to go. Stamp ready, I call it. All right, so we're going to use that. We're also going to use this piece out of the Holiday Joy stamp set. And Fun Stamper's Journey does have a die to go along with this one right here. So it's not a bundle, but coordinating dies to go along with that. Such a pretty little set right there. And then I'm also going to be using our Cozy Knit embossing folder, and I just want you to see how absolutely beautiful that is. Look at the detail in that. So, so very pretty. So that's the Cozy Knit embossing folder, again from Fun Stamper's Journey. And all of these pieces that we're going to use here are also from the Gnome for the Holidays. So let's get started. It's a very simple card. Even though it looks complicated, it's really not. All right, I'm just going to show you the top right here. Super cool. All right, so this is our Slider Peekaboo card. So cute. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the measurements on my blog, okay? And they're just super easy to do. So let me grab the ones that aren't folded so I can show you how to fold them, all right? So this piece right here we're going to take and we're going to use our crease tool and we're going to accordion fold it, all right? So I'm just going to take and I'm going to fold one way and crease it, and then I'm going to fold backwards and crease it. All right, so this is what we call an accordion fold, all right, or a Z fold because it looks like a Z. All right, so there's our Z fold. That's the first one. And then this one right here, again using your crease tool. I'm going to tell you right now that when you do use your crease tool, your projects come out so much nicer because they are crisp, clean, and they fold and do everything that they need to do, and they're just very pretty. All right, so now we have both of these. You see on this side I have the fold and on this side I have the opening. I want you to make sure that when you're doing this, you're using the fold side and again the fold side on this one. So the two folds are going to be going the same direction. The first thing that I'm going to do is to get my Easy Glide, and I'm going to add that to my piece right here, and I'm going close to the edge. All right, and I'll put a little bit here in the middle. All right, so remember, we have the fold right here, we have the fold right here, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the two open ends and we're gonna line them up and just put them together. So I'm gonna add this one right here, lining all the sides up. All right, take your crease tool and just get a good crease on that. And then what you have, don't get nervous, okay? This does overlap, it's supposed to, all right? If you look at our card, that's what actually makes the little peekaboo part of it, all right? So the peekaboo pop-up, all right? So there's that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're going to, now I always make myself a template, but let me explain to you why and how you have to do this. Now, in my club, they're like, well, it's not centered. No, it's not gonna be centered. When you're doing a card like this, you have to make sure that you have enough room over here that's gonna hide that little panel right there, but yet you need it big enough so when you open it, it's gonna show, okay? So you can't see it when it's closed, all right? So that's where this little end, the little ridge right here ends, okay? It ends actually right at that circle, but when you open it up, it has to be wide enough so that it goes and fills up the entire circle. Because if you were to do it just that length, you're gonna have a big hole right there, and so it's not gonna look right, all right? Does that make sense? All right, so because we were doing this in my club, and I will always keep this, and I keep it with my sample card, I'm just going to make a template and it makes it super easy. Now you can use your framelits with these. You can use any style. Like I have another one that I did with a square opening. Today I'm going to do the punch because when I did this, I didn't want my, my club members to have to get up and down 3 times, because you are going to do 3 punches in this. All right, so I'm just going to take a pencil here and draw the circle. All right, there's my circle. And then I'm going to open it up and make sure that I don't have any of these layers involved in my punching. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn my punch upside down and just line this up. Let me just look at it because I want to make sure it's lined up just perfectly. All right, and we're just going to punch that. All right, so there we have our first punch. Remember, I told you we're going to punch this 3 times. Now, if you get any frays when you're punching as opposed to using your framelits, just take a little sanding block and just all you have to do is just unrough them. All right, and that just brings everything nice and smooth. All right, so perfect, perfect, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and draw a little circle right here. Okay. And we're going to punch that one. Now you have to make sure that you get that piece out of the way, all right, so that you don't punch through that one. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to turn our punch upside down and make sure that you get everything in line. There we go. Let's see. There we go. All right, you want to make sure everything is lined up nicely and then just punch. All right, so now we have our 2 punches out of our white piece, okay? Now we have to take and punch our embossed piece right here, all right? So you can either use this side, which is the outdented side, or it's just as beautiful on the indented side right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put just a little piece of adhesive on this. We're going to line it up like we would normally, all right? But we don't want it to permanently stick down, and I'll tell you why. You definitely don't want to re-punch through here, because if you do, you're liable to try to punch through 3 layers. And although our punches are good, the Fun Stampers Journey punches are good, you're putting a lot of strain on 3 layers. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. Now this is my 3rd punch. Okay, so we did the first one, then we did the second one, and this one is our 3rd one. All right, so now we're going to take that off. And we're going to just punch right through there. All right. Whoops, let me just make sure that, there we go. All right. So now we're just going to line this up nice and even. And we're going to punch right out of there. All right. So now we're done with all the punches. We can start putting everything together. So the first thing that we're going to do is to just line this up, make sure it looks good, good. Oh, perfect. All right. So now instead of putting our adhesive on here, have you ever put your adhesive on here and had the paper rip right off? The reason that is because when you run this through the embossing folder, it loosens up the fibers. There's nothing wrong with your paper. It just loosens up the fibers, and you just don't want to do that to your paper, all right? So what we're going to do, remember we have a 1/4 inch all the way around showing. So we're going to take and we're going to put our adhesive close to the edge, but not so close that it's going to show when we... just put a little bit right there too, so that it doesn't show when we get the blue piece on here. All right, so I'm just going to line this up. Now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that this is lined up nice and perfectly down here, and then just go up to the top. Now isn't that absolutely adorable? And look at the texture on that. So, so very pretty. Remember, this is the Cozy Knit embossing folder. All right, and this is a Fun Stampers Journey embossing folder. All right, now I'm just going to take my sanding tool again, because I got a little bit of a rough edge right there, and I'm just going to sand, 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 and that just rounds everything out, makes it nice and soft and pretty and oh so nice. All right, so now you want to make sure that this little flap is in between here like this. All right, if we have it out here like this, it's not going to open. But if we take and put it inside there, when it opens, it can open up nice and flat. Gotcha? All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is to take and close this up. I'm going to get out this is chambray shirt, and this is a Fun Stampers Journey color. All right, we're going to take the snowflake from the gnome set, and we're going to stamp it right here in the middle. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to keep our chambray shirt open. Well, that sounded funny. We're going to keep our stamp pad open. All right, And we're going to ink up our little heart and stamp it right here. Okay? So far, so good. All right, now I'm going to take, because this is a bigger stamp and it's a solid stamp. Now, this is a very vintage stamp, and you're going to think, well, there's holes in some of the letters, and that's because it's a vintage stamp, people. It's so cute. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and add that right here above my little thing. So my saying is on the inside of my card, and when it opens up, you see, the love and the heart, they just go together. They're just so cute. All right, so now I have all of that done. I'm going to take my little square. Remember, all of the measurements for this card are going to be over onto my blog. All right, and make sure you hop on over there and get the measurements for it. Let me grab my black ink pad, and we're going to just stamp the words "Gnome for the Holiday." I think that's cute. It's a little play on words. All right, so let me just line that up. There we go. And we are going to take our little star, not with the black though. We're going to put the black. I always tell people one color open at a time. All right, and we're going to take the, there we go. And that's going to dry, and it's going to look beautiful. Oh, so pretty. All right, so we're done with all of those. Now let's just take our adhesive and add that to the back end of this. All right, and then see how fast this card is? It's just so adorable. Now I'm going to grab some of my foam squares here and add that to the side of it here. All right, right up here. And the very last thing that we have to do on this little guy is to paint our gnome, all right, because everything else is done. See? So cute. All right, now I'm going to take my little gnome, and I've already cut him out for the, because remember, we do have a die for this, but it's so fast. I wanted to show you this card from beginning to end with no problems at all. So I'm going to use a couple of different things. I'm actually going to use a bunch, and I love mixing the media part of it and the coloring part of it. So I'm going to grab one of our little palettes. This is from Fun Stamper's Journey. I'm going to add some of the Peaches and Cream liquid color. And then I'm going to add some of our Riverstone liquid color also. And then to match our piece, I'm going to shake this up because all of that good stuff is on the bottom, and we want to get all that nice sparkly stuff. This is our sprayer, but you can also color with this, all right? And I wanted the chambray shirt, so what I did was I'm going to use the chambray shirt for his hat, and because we don't have it in liquid color yet, all right, I'm going to take it, I'm just going to use, I'm just putting a little bit on here because a little bit goes a really long way. And if it doesn't, I can always add some more. And then I'm also going to bring in some of our watercolor pencils, okay? These are our Color Splash pencils. And let me show you how fast this is. I'm just going to use a medium brush. I have water in it because these are all water soluble mediums. And I'm just going to start painting away. Let me grab a paper towel. I always like to control it with my paper towel, all right? So there's my paper towel, and what I'm gonna do is to just put a little bit of water in here for two reasons. I wanna make sure that my brush is clean, but I also wanna get some control of my brush right here, all right? So now what I'm gonna do is pick up, I'll start with his little nose, all right? So I'm gonna take his little nose and add that right there. So this is the Peaches and Cream. I think that's his forehead right there. So I'm going to add some of the Peaches and Cream. Now I'm going to do some shading in just a moment. So now what I'm going to do is just clean off my brush, and I'm going to go in with the blue. Now I don't want it to start out dark, so I have a lot of water on that, and you see how I just kind of brushed it off to the side so that it's not full strength. And then what I'll do is just take and just start coloring this in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and pick up some of the darker and just outline the places where I want it to be a little bit darker. There we go. All right, so let's clean the brush off, and I'm just squeezing it, getting all of my all of my color out of there. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to pick up some of this gray right here. Now I'm not doing any of the shading yet. All right, so we're going to do that at the end. Alrighty, now, oops, I got a little spot right over here that I haven't finished. Here we go. Okay. Now let's do his shoes. And I'm going to clean this off and go back in with the blue, just a little bit of light blue, and just color in each one of these little tiny stripes. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go back in with my little watercolor pencil here, add a little bit right here, and pick up some color actually right from the pencil because it's more concentrated. And you see how it just adds a little bit. So if you just make little circles around the outside of this, it's going to look like it's not a flat nose. It's going to look like it's an adorable little round nose. Okay, isn't that so cute? He's so adorable. All right, so let's do that with, let me see. Well, we really don't need too much more shading. I am going to take and use, for the gray right here, I want to go a little bit darker, right up in here, right where and then right here where something overlaps it, you know, just to show you that. There we go. See that? See, do you see how that makes it just kind of pop a little bit more? When it dries, it'll dry a little bit darker. Let me just do the same to his little shoes so that they don't look so flat. I'm going to just do a dark line right up on the top here, so it looks like, there we go. There we go. Isn't that so cute? These little guys are adorable. You can't say that they're not absolutely adorable. All right, so the gnome for the holiday. All right, let's add him with our foam squares. Let me see. I think I'll do my big ones here. One on the top and one on the bottom. All right, get these little guys out of here. And we have our card 100% done. Isn't that adorable? So here we are with our, isn't that so cute? Ah, so cute. I hope you enjoyed my post for today. Remember to hop on over to my blog. I'll give you all the directions over there. It's a super easy card. Doesn't take very long at all. And you're good to go. Thank you for stopping by. Please stop by often.